Hi, and welcome to the fourth episode of the Toon Goons, the podcast in which we take an adult critical perspective into the worlds of animation and cartoons and analyze how they affect the pop culture landscape at large. I'm your first host, Nikki.
I'm your second host, Nina.
And I am apparently the third host, though I never contractually agreed to being the third host, Tooch.
You're in a different room. Look, man, you come over here, you can be second.
Man, y'all come up here with your freaking NPR fucking opening narration, making me third banana without even fucking consulting me. I'll be in my trailer. I'm going solo. I'm making a solo album.
Can you bring your mic to your trailer so we can still record?
Yes, I have done
It's
that.
like the only time we can do this.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
All right.
To be fair, we didn't use the opening last time. Kind of forgot to say that stuff.
Because we were so excited about Scooby-Doo! Now, this episode, we're going to be talking about Bravest Warriors.
Woohoo!
It shouldn't run as long as the last episode did. We're going to make sure of that. But first, we're going to go through our News of the Weeks.
Yay, News of the Weeks. It's my time to shine. Okay. So, sad news or not sad news first?
Let's get the sad news out of the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sad news. Bob Hastings died during the week where we weren't recording. He was the voice of Commissioner Gordon on Batman the Animated Series. He was 89. So that's kind of sad.
No, yeah, he was 89, but I think it was complications from prostate cancer that did it.
It was prostate cancer.
I was honestly crushed. Like, I didn't realize how crushed I would be until I fucking read that he died, and I was just like, I'm so unbelievably goddamn sad, because, Batman the Animated Series was one of the things that, like, made me who I fucking am today. Like, it's why I'm here, one of the reasons. Like, that and Animaniacs, like, that's pretty much me. And, Commissioner Gordon, I've always felt Commissioner Gordon was one of the most underrated characters in the whole Batman gallery of characters, and I feel like Bruce Timm and Paul Dini felt that way too, because they always gave Commissioner Gordon good stuff, good scenes, good story. He was great.
Yeah, they definitely took him up to like a different level with that show, and his performance just really helped make that character and really define that character. Like, I don't know if in the Nolan movies,
in the Nolan movies, he's almost like, he could have easily, the movies could have been about him. Like, it's all about him and him trying to, one of the good things about the Nolan movies, because I have conflicting opinions. There's good stuff and bad stuff about the Nolan movies.
Yeah, definitely.
One of the good things about the Nolan movies, I felt, is because, Batman sort of admits, yeah, I'm pretty much literally a criminal. You really should not, I am a necessary evil, and I would love to not have to be here, but, I need someone on my side. I can go places where you can't, so you can do your job better, Batman has always been on the side of the police.
Yeah, definitely.
As weird as that is, he always has been.
And I kind of wonder if maybe Gary Oldman, listened to Bob when trying to get a feel for the role.
he was, now that I honestly think about it, before Bob Hastings, there was no, Commissioner Gordon never got nothing. Honestly, even before and after in cartoons, Commissioner Gordon never got that much stuff, but he defined the character in ways that no one else did, and Gary Oldman was honestly fucking channeling him. I never really thought of that before.
Yeah, he definitely was. I don't know if he watched it. He's a good actor, so maybe he did to get references. But
So he was so excited to not play a villain for once.
Yeah. But Hastings also he provided voices for DC Comics characters before Jim Gordon. In the 60s, he voiced Superboy and Clark Kent in various cartoons, including The New Adventures of Superman and the Batman Superman Hour. Yeah. He had a guest appearance on the 66 Batman TV series as the character Major Beasley. He did voiceover work on the 70s Spider-Man and Super Friends cartoon too. So
he's had a career closely tied with comics.
Yeah, definitely, and cartoons and.
Oh yeah.
So it's very sad, But
I will definitely miss him.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, rest in peace.
So, less sad news. We have the start of a new anime season, which for me means Sailor Moon Crystal.
Hella, me too.
Yeah.
We all watched the first episode of Sailor Moon Crystal, which I refuse to pronounce any other way.
Crystal.
I really like hip hop. Apparently reception to it has been pretty divided.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, I've never watched any kind of Sailor Moon stuff before. I liked it. It looks like pretty much any other. I don't have much of an eye for anime styles. It looks like pretty much anything else made in the last 10 years to me, personally.
Yeah, no, it doesn't, but okay.
Yeah, that's a very...
Nope.
Yeah.
That's more than fair. But yeah, I liked it. I'm looking forward to watching more of it. Signed up for a free Hulu Plus trial so I could watch it on an actual television screen.
Yeah.
I already have a Crunchyroll account, so...
Yeah, me too, but he didn't want to use it.
Because we couldn't put it on the big TV.
Yeah, whatever.
Also, I'm pretty sure it was on regular Hulu, because I tried to watch it on regular Hulu, because Crunchyroll
You need Hulu
crashed.
Plus to, stream it to a console, which is what I did.
I see.
You actually said like a really interesting thing about Usagi that I've never heard anybody say.
What did I say?
That you liked her, your first impression.
I liked how much of a idiot dork she was. I liked how stupid her priorities were. It's like, I wish I was a superhero, so I wouldn't have to go to school.
Yeah, cause I opened up the manga one time. I want to read the manga, but I mean, this is pretty much the closest I'm gonna get until I do, but I looked through the first chapter, and she goes on an even longer diatribe of the manga. It's like, I'm 14 years old. All I like to do is fucking sit around, play video games, and eat junk food all day. I don't want to go to school. I don't like doing homework. And it's like, fuck yeah, Usagi, you fucking get yours. I love her. I instantly fell in love with her.
I love her too. Like, she's very relatable in her own weird way. So yeah, and the other show I'm very excited for, anime-wise, is Space Dandy Season 2!
Yes!
Yeah, first episode of that dropped
on
Saturday night on Toonami. Very ambitious episode to kick
Holy
off the
shit.
Have you seen it, Tooch?
I actually forgot to watch Space Dandy. I told you I was all up on everything, but then I forgot about Space Dandy.
Oh, they had like an hour and a half lead-in. Like, they showed 2 episodes of Season 1, and they showed the new episode, and it was great.
Yeah, it's a lot of alternate dimensions and alternate universe versions of Dandy and crew. It's really funny.
It's
really
really
I gotta
funny.
see that.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to ruin it for you, Tooch, but
Please
there are so many weird references to things that it's...
Weird references, that's my lifeblood.
it's gonna knock your socks off. So.
Yeah. And then, that's what at least Nina and I have seen so far of this new
Yeah,
new season.
I want to be better at following new anime seasons, but at the same time, like, I don't want to watch something if I'm not interested. Like, I'm not that devoted. The only other show I watched was the new Dramatical Murder show, which, I mean, I've never played the game, but, I mean, I guess I'm going to keep watching the show. It's entertaining.
I've never played the game either, but I know we know plenty of people who do, and from what I've actually heard about it, like, everybody played the game for dongs, but actually there's loads of explication and world building before you get, honestly, a small amount of dongs.
Yeah, totally. Like, I'm watching this episode, I'm like, there's not even any hint of donging going on.
The game's the same, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, well, this is a really deep world and stuff, so, we'll see how that plays out. I don't know. But there's a lot of other anime out now. If you want to check it out, check it out.
Man,
if we find something we'll tell you about it later.
We'll probably eventually do an episode about at least Space Dandy, and we'll keep talking about Crystal.
Yeah. The other anime news is that the trailer for the new Studio Ghibli movie came out.
I watched that.
It's a beautiful trailer, isn't it?
That trailer's like on the same level as Benny Button. Like, it's a gorgeous trailer.
Yeah.
It's so pretty. Like, I love the song, and it's like really provocative, but unlike Benjamin Button, it doesn't tell you the whole story.
Like like every trailer.
Yeah.
And it doesn't lie about how much time Optimus Prime spent riding the dinosaur.
Yes.
So the movie's called Omoide no Marnie, or When Marnie Was There. It's going to be directed by Hiromasa Yonibayashi. I believe he was the same guy who directed the Secret of Arrietty movie.
Oh, cool. I like that.
Yeah, the premise is about this girl named Anna. She doesn't have a friend, but she meets this girl named Marnie, and they become friends, but she's not all that she seems, and apparently she's a ghost, and like...
The trailer didn't give that away. I read the synopsis, but I was gonna, not say that.
Oh, sorry. I mean, that's part of the plot, because, apparently there's more to it than that.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
I mean, the trailer really depicts the movie as more of a very touching sapphic romance movie.
Quote unquote, the beauty of friendship.
Which apparently it isn't, but I would be disappointed if at least some of those tones don't come through to the actual film itself.
They better.
It probably will. I mean, they're already sort of following the formula. The one girl's got short hair, the other girl's got long hair.
And honestly, just because every young person in Studio Ghibli is just in their art styles usually are just so fucking pretty. I sort of squinted and was like, that's a girl, right? Because the trailer looked like a freaking romance or something. It followed a lot of those beats, and I was like, let me just make sure that's a damn woman. It is. So. It is.
Yeah, but this one's got me really excited, even more excited than Arrietty, because, the premise of Arrietty wasn't really, interesting to me, but of course I watched it because it was Ghibli. But this actually looks kind of fascinating, and
yeah, it's actually got a story. A lot of Ghibli movies are just sort of go on tone, and it's fairy tale vibe where it's you're not really watching for the story. It's just a cute movie with cute stuff. Well, look at the cute.
Yeah, especially the ones for the younger audiences, Ponyo or Totoro.
Yeah, unless it's the freaking Mononoke stuff where it's all story.
Yeah.
I hope that the guy learned some stuff after Arrietty, because I felt that Arrietty had a spectacular first act.
Yeah,
and then the rest of the movie was a kind of mediocre second act, and there was no third act.
Yeah, no, there wasn't.
Yeah.
After the first hour, it's kind of
the second act was like a Tom and Jerry cartoon.
Yeah, but the beginning
mainly
of the movie
because
was so good.
My major critique of Arrietty, not to go off on a giant tangent because this is actually a short critique, the old woman had zero motivation to be a colossal bitch. She just didn't like the little tiny people. She just wanted to get it to kill them or something. I don't even know. She was like Gargamel. Did he want to eat them? Did he want to turn them into gold? I don't fucking know. Just catch the Smurfs.
Yeah.
I would watch a Smurfs movie if they had Betty White play Gargamel.
Oh, yes.
All right, and now we're going to get a little more serious because there was a very big controversial thing that happened this week in cartoons, and that is
sort of the first thing of its kind.
I was about to say that, nothing like this has ever really happened before that we know of.
I got into the show thinking we weren't gonna have to deal with any drama or any controversy. It's fucking all of a sudden the story pops up and it's oh Jesus Christ!
God damn it!
Okay, this is the world we live in now.
All right, what happened was Skylar Page, creator of Clarence, which we talked about in episode 2.
Watch that episode.
It was accused of sexually assaulting and groping women at work at Cartoon Network, and has been fired from Cartoon Network and forbidden from entering the premises. This came to light on Twitter after a few people spoke up about it. First, we can mention the names, right?
I mean, we might as well.
Mario Domo mentioned...
Mario Domo just straight out said it.
Skylar Page gropes women at work, stay away from him.
Yeah.
And then Emily Partridge, who is a storyboard artist on Adventure Time, she worked on The Prince Who Wanted Everything, said, I wasn't going to talk about this, but now everybody is. This happened to me. Skylar Page sexually assaulted me. Yeah. There was a big controversy that broke out on Twitter because there was no quote unquote proof.
Yeah.
As if
victim testimonial and witnesses are not proof.
Ultimately, there are 3 things going on with this story. First and foremost is the light being shed on anti-woman attitudes on the internet and in the workplace and in general, with victim blaming and
issues of safety,
all this crap. And the second issue, which is where a lot of fans are falling into, is like, you know, how do we deal with this like cognitive dissonance of like, you know, we don't like this guy for what he did, but we like the show, and like, what do we do? Do we boycott it? Do we...
Now,
whatever?
in this specific case, it was made easier than it usually is because in the wake of this, Patrick Harpin came out and said that...
he was the lead writer of Clarence.
The lead writer of Clarence said that Skylar Page's influence on the show has been greatly exaggerated. He pitched the idea of the show, and he voices the main character, but other than that, he barely works on the show at all.
And we later found out why. There was a period where he was practically incapacitated and was being treated in the hospital for his mental issues that he has.
The man has very severe mental illness.
Which just complicates things.
A friend of his, from whom the character Jeff was based off of, talked about an incident. Apparently the man has a very severe bipolar disorder that manifests with symptoms.
Schizophrenic outbreaks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, this description is crazy, that he said. On the same day the assault happened, Skylar also walked... This is coming from the friend. Skylar also walked through the streets shirtless, screaming at cops. I saw him try to smoke cigarettes through his nose and drink days-old olive juice. He popped in and out of different characters and answered questions with riddles. And the next day, when me and another close friend drove him to the hospital to get him treatment, I sat with him for hours in the emergency room as he sat strapped to a bed singing They Might Be Giant songs and talking like a cowboy. And apparently he is currently still hospitalized.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and there's a lot more to it, but yeah. Now, obviously, you know, this is some severe mental illness, and who knows, you know, how often the man is himself, but nothing about him can justify the fact that he did sexually assault.
No, I mean, it's a crime. Like, he did it.
It's a crime, and what's most important, he is dangerous to be around, and whatever the reason for that is, you can't keep him around.
He's not only dangerous, but, like, he makes everybody miserable, he makes everyone uncomfortable, he makes it hard for people to work with. Honestly, after that first outbreak that the friend talks about, where apparently the people on the show had to just, like, work without him because he was hospitalized for a time, it was just like, Cartoon Network should have evaluated this guy if he was actually able to keep this job and do it well for his safety and for the safety of everybody else and for making a good work environment for everybody else. I think Cartoon Network needs to take a little bit more of the blame on this.
Yeah, they dropped the ball. I mean, the reaction to, you know, everything that came out on Twitter and this becoming public knowledge, they did the right thing there by, you know, having HR investigate and then firing Paige.
Very quickly.
They were swift. Like, within that day.
They were swift, but only after it came out on the internet.
Yeah, it should have been addressed earlier.
People had known about this for a long time, and nobody just wanted to talk about it. It's possible that, like, without the pressure of the public knowing about it, it was easier for them to sweep it under the rug because they had put all this time and money investing in this guy. Like, they had the tour with Clarence and Steven Universe and Uncle Grandpa, like, going to cons and, like, promoting this guy everywhere. Having to get rid of him right away with this thing, like, I can understand why they would want to cover it up, but, like, once it was out, and, you know, the women who just made it out, you know, did an amazing thing and were able to actually use what was available to them to make change, the network couldn't ignore it anymore. Yeah. That's my speculation.
It just seemed to me, because, like, right when it first hit, like, obviously people were telling, was Emily, what was her name?
Emily Partridge was the woman who it happened to. The first person to speak was Mario Domo.
Yeah, but then people were telling her, like, well, why don't you just go to HR about it? And she tweeted, like, HR already knows. So I assumed it was just a matter of, like, coincidental timing. Like, they already knew about it and were dealing with it while the controversy was already going on. Like, as it was happening, they had been informed. Like, that's what sparked it, because, like, she finally spoke out.
But there was also tweets that she and other people said where she was like, I know some people say that, you know, you shouldn't be around him or that he's quirky, but, like, I didn't understand that. I never met that guy before. You shouldn't just assume that I know I should be on guard around this guy if I've never met him before. So it seemed like there was talk in the studio with the people who work with him that knew that he was, like, kind of...
And people who went to Cal Arts
and people who went to Cal Arts.
This is not a new reputation.
This isn't something that we just all of a sudden learned. Like, apparently... You know, Harpin said that he was always a pain in the ass, though he had never witnessed anything of sexual nature. But, like, it seems like he's had a bad reputation from the beginning.
Yeah.
And that's suspicious to, like, continue to employ and promote somebody when, you know, he has all these rumors and all this stuff floating around him, and he actually, it's not a secret to anybody except for us, the public, who don't work in the office.
Yeah. So, where we are right now, Skylar Page is no longer working with Cartoon Network. He's forbidden from entering the premises, and he's in the hospital receiving treatment. Clarence is not going to be canceled. The first season has already been made, and will continue airing. Second season, has it been confirmed for a second season yet?
I don't believe Cartoon Network has announced their next run of stuff. I think it has been.
The show could very well still get a second season because Page's influence on the show is minimal. Honestly, the biggest thing they're going to have to replace him
is Harpin, because apparently Harpin quit because of Harpin. I read his Tumblr post. He said he used to work on the show, and the main reason why he quit was because he couldn't stand working with Page. So all these episodes we've been watching he was the head writer on all these episodes, and he's since quit. Now that they're coming out. So I wonder if maybe he'll come back on the show. Yeah. I know that he's been working in Hollywood. Like, he did the character designs for, like, Moonrise Kingdom and stuff. Like, he's kind of doing some cool things now. But it would be cool if he would come back, because it seems like he's actually really the person making the show what it is, along with all the other people. Yeah,
there's a lot of other talented people who do not sexually assault women on the show who should be able to continue making this show that they've put a lot of their heart and bodies into. What I was going to say about Page is that really his most noticeable influence on the show is voicing Clarence, which, you know, he does a really good job of that, but, you know, they'll be able to find somebody else who can do a pretty good job. There are plenty of people who are great impressionists.
Yeah, there's very talented people out there who can do it. Like, and it's not that hard of a voice. It's just sort of a Pooh Bear voice with a lisp.
Yeah, like, so like, hey guys, I'm Clarence. What's up? You want to go look at bugs or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get Tooch to do it. We'll ride his coattails all the way to Los Angeles.
I'm not gonna touch any of your boobers.
So there hasn't been really any official statement from Cartoon Network yet.
Other than that, he's fired. That's all I said.
That's all I need to know.
Yeah, Page himself hasn't spoken up about this, but even before this, he never had much of a social media presence, right?
No, he didn't.
Yeah, so, I mean, who knows if we'll ever hear his side of the story. I think there's only so much he would be able to add, because we know what happened and we know what about his problems.
And, you know, I don't know if they'll be able to prosecute him further if he's as critical as his friend describes him in the condition he's in, which kind of sucks, because, like, that might be something.
Yeah, I do hope charges are pressed against him, and
he deserves it. He did it. Like,
he did it multiple times. It's a heinous thing to do, and I hope he's punished within the full extent of the law, given the entirety of the case. Which, you know, even now we still don't know everything.
No.
And if another big development happens in the story, we'll follow up on it. But hopefully, we won't have to talk about this again, because it's just all of it's just really stressful. I'm glad that at the end, and all the right things happened, but. Yeah. Those women who spoke up got so much heinous abuse by irredeemable trash golems on the internet. Yeah. And just absolutely despicable. We would like to commend them.
Yeah, definitely. Because they're the ones that actually made something happen, you know? Like, they sacrificed their precious privacy to actually
and safety.
Do something.
It was if you read some of that, because I was up all that night because I work nights. Horrific.
Oh yeah, rape threats, murder threats.
The whole 9 yards when women have things to say on the internet.
The shit that's unfortunately commonplace whenever a woman says something that people don't like on the internet. And it's bad. But, you know, Clarence, still watch Clarence, you guys, if you want to. If it really makes you uncomfortable, do what feels right for you. But we're going to continue to watch the show because we feel comfortable that we're not supporting anything that goes against our beliefs, and we still do think it's a good show.
The zoo episode was funny.
The zoo episode was really cute. I like Benson in it. It was nice to see him.
So everything that we said in our Clarence episode still stands, except a lot of stuff we quoted from Page itself. Who knows how much that was made up or embellished. But in terms of the show itself, nothing. Our opinion about it has not changed at all.
No, just
and you shouldn't feel like yours has to change.
No.
If it does, I mean, that's you. Whatever. We've talked about this for a long time. Let's get into the show at hand. which is Bravest Warriors.